Alright guys, so what's the project for today? In front of you is the Bogan 3033 tripod that a buddy of mine is doing some downsizing and moving into a smaller home. And a couple weeks ago he gave me a bunch of cool stuff. He said if you want it you can have it. And one of them was this, again, the 3033 Monfranto Bogan tripod. Now here you see a portion of the bottom leg on my Lost Mandy AZ8 tripod, and I did a video on this. It's got the square tubing, and in order to get the same length leg on each leg extension, I just scribed these marks in. And when I got to thinking, I've got quite a few different tripods, and when my buddy gave me this 3033 Bogan, I thought I've got an idea on how to mark those legs so that when I do want to extend it out partially, each leg is out the same and I can gauge it rather than just estimate it by seeing if it looks the same. Now one of the things with a tripod that you have to deal with is they're round and they're not square to where it's easily to mark. So I had some different ideas. Then I came up with something extremely simple that anybody can do, and I'll show you what I did. And so the answer was very simple: a tubing cutter. Now I've got several different sizes that will work on this tripod, but I wanted to eliminate the ones that I didn't think would work as good. Now why do I say that? This is a Chicago specialty, and the way this works, it works great, but you turn this and it closes or opens as you're cutting. Now the problem I saw with this one is, and I've used it a lot, is if it's like this and you're rotating it, there's a good chance you could tighten it down a little bit and do more than what you want to do that I'm going to show you. So this one was out. Next we've got this very small rigid, which I use some very thin or small diameter piping. Obviously it's too small, so this one's out. So that leaves us with these two. Both of these will work. Let's take a look at the bigger one. This one will work just fine. Okay, and when I show you how I'm going to use this one, if you were going to use this, you're going to adjust it the way I show you on this, but you're going to stay away from this end, and so that when you go to put your scribe in the tube, you're going to want to put your thumb here and push down and around, keeping your hand off of this, because it could actually, it turns very smooth and it could go a little more depth than what you want. So if you've got something like this, it will work, but I'm going to use what I have that I think is going to be even a little bit better. So let's take a look at this one. This is also a rigid model. It is the model 101 1/4 to 1 1/8 inch pipe, 6 to 28 millimeters. Now the reason I really like this, and again it's quite similar to this one although too small, is that you got to put more effort into turning this. So when you make your scribe mark, you can rotate this around without any fear of putting too much pressure on the tubing of your tripod. So this one here is what I'll be using. And again, if you have larger legs, because I have some larger leg tripods that I will be using this. And again, when you use it, just keep your hand off this. Get it adjusted. Push on this, whether you're right or left-handed, whatever way you go, and just make sure you push on this, staying away from this knob. So what did I do? Well, let's take a look at this leg here. Loosen it and we'll pull it out. So it becomes immediately apparent that I've made a scribe mark. Nice and neat. Looks like it was made that way. Didn't do any damage to the leg. And we'll take a look at the other section. And you see I've done the same. Now for my purpose, I measured every 3 inches. You could do whatever you wanted, but I figured 3 inches would be good enough. So with the bottom leg, I measured from the bottom of this 3 inches, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then that's it. So now when I want to extend my leg, the smaller bottom leg, and I want it to say 3, I can lock this down right around the 3 inch or the 3 scribe mark, and they're all pretty much the same, and I don't have to screw around wondering, you know, if it's somewhat the same on all the other legs. And I did the same with this. Now I measured from this part of this casting here, and I measured 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And so now we've got that all the same. Again, you put this where you want it, lock it down. You've got 3 scribe marks. Make sure all the other ones in this center section have 3 marks. You're good to go. So obviously the first thing you want to do is make marks. I just used a pencil. Let me see if I can see. Yep, right here. So I made pencil marks measuring in my case 3 inches. You could do whatever increment you want. So we got 3, 3, 3, 3, and 3, and finally 3. So we've got those laid out on the bottom leg. I've done the same here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 laid out at 3-inch increments on the larger tube here. So since I've got this size to the bigger pipe tubing, here's what we're going to do. You want to put this to where the cutter is on your pencil mark, and you may not be able to see it from here, but I've got that right on the pencil. And then what I want to do is gently turn this so it's just a hair snug. And then all we're going to do is simply rotate this once or twice, just like that, and that's going to make your nice indent in there, not crushing the tubing, not doing any damage, but making a nice indent. And let's do this again. Now you also want to make sure, and I say this for those that maybe aren't familiar with a tubing cutter, you've got 2 rollers here. You can almost offset it to where it's not on that roller. So just make sure that when you put this on the tubing of your tripod leg, to make sure that, let's see here, so I'm going to put this down now. Just like that. And I can see, rock it back and forth, it's sitting on those 2 rollers. Give it a little snug. Just like that. You can see it made a nice clean mark. And so now I'll do the same on the rest of this leg, and we'll do the same on the smaller diameter. And then when we're done, what I do is I just take a rag with furniture polish and wipe the leg off in case there was any, you know, dirt or anything, and just wipe down that leg. Alright, so I've done the large leg, and I've wiped it down with furniture polish, and look how nice and clean that is. Nice, even marks, no damage, worked out perfect. Alright, next we're going to do the small leg, and I thought it'd be interesting to show you guys this tool, the larger one that probably most people will have. And I'm going to show you what I was talking about when you use this. Alright, so you can see the mark. So you're going to size this the same way. You're going to bring this around, same principle, and you're going to bring this down just like that. Okay, because you can get a lot of pressure on this thing. You don't want to put a whole lot, just a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is you're going to see that when I push on this, I want to stay off that handle. So I'm going to push down like this, pushing on the body and staying away from this part. And we'll go around one more time, just like that. And then we'll take that off, and you can see it made a mark, that it made that line like we want. Now here you can see it left more dirt from the wheel of that cutter, so no big deal. That's why I said you use a rag and then just use furniture polish and wipe it down like I am here, and we're good to go. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these marks on here that we have. Let's see, we've got, well, I think I wiped one off when I used the furniture polish, but we'll go ahead and remark that, and I'll finish out this project off camera. Well, boys and girls, there you have it. Very easy project for you to do. And if you have to buy a tubing cutter, you can buy them relatively cheap. Don't have to get top of the line. This will make it so much easier when you're adjusting your legs to each other. And guys, this video has been approved by the little moose. Moose!